Hi everyone, my name is Laurentiu Mihalcea. You have my contact information down below, the email and GitHub. Since you don't really have a lot of time, let's get started. So we're gonna skip over this because it's not that interesting. So a bit of introductory notes. The SCMI support has been around since Zephyr 4.0 and was introduced as part and alongside the firmware subsystem. The support is based on the ARM specification version 3.2, but right now ARM has released a new version 4.0 alpha. As of today, specifically the commit that you'll see in the slides, there are only two upstream boards that use the SCMI support, which are the i.MX95 EVK and i.MX 943 EVK respectively, both of the variants, the Cortex A1 and the Cortex M1. So the SCMI support is made up of three layers, which are the transport layer, the core layer, and the protocol layer. The transport layer is the one that manages the communication with the platform, and each transport layer driver needs to implement an API or a set of operations. I'm not going to go through all of them, but some potentially interesting notes. So regarding the init function, this was needed because transport layer drivers are not allowed to register their own initialization function with the Zephyr driver core. So instead, the SCMI core will take care of the transport driver initialization. We also have the setup and request channel functions. The setup is used to initialize a channel after being requested, and the request channel is, or you'll see a bit later, is used in the dynamic channel allocation strategy. So as of today, we support two channel allocation strategies. We have the static allocation, which is done at build time, and the dynamic channel allocation, which is performed at runtime. As for the transport drivers, we support mailbox over shared memory with two possible configurations. One being with one bidirectional transmit mailbox channel, and the other being with two unidirectional transmit mailbox channel. We also support shared or per protocol channels. So the idea here is that each protocol is allowed to define its own set of dedicated channels, and this is entirely optional. If the protocol doesn't do that, the SCMI will fall back to the base protocol's channels, which are mandatory to add in the device tree. We also have the protocol layer. Its purpose is rather intuitive, being that of implementing the protocol commands. As of today, we only support 3 standard protocols and one vendor-specific one. The 3 standard protocols that we support are clock management, ping control, and power domain management. Of course, we don't support all of the commands, only a subset of them have been implemented. And the vendor-specific protocol is NXP's CPU domain management protocol. As for the supported message types, we only have synchronous commands. At this moment, there's some work that is trying to add support for notifications, and we'll see how that goes. And finally, we have the core layer. Its purpose is to act as glue between the protocol and the transport layers, and it performs such tasks such as synchronization, transport to driver initialization, dynamic channel allocation, etc. So I'm sure most of you are used to this type of diagrams. Its main purpose is to emphasize the fact that the SCMI support is designed in such a way to allow the addition of new protocols without having to duplicate code. And it also allows you to change the transport layer driver without impacting the other layers that sit on top of it. So I'm going to end the presentation with the future work section and the to-do list. Most importantly, I think we need to add some samples. What I was thinking of is having some sort of hello world sample that would be based on the base protocol and would print some sort of information regarding the firmware running on the platform. We did have someone work on this at some point, but we didn't really reach a conclusion in that PR, and it was never updated. Another point would be to try and improve the documentation. So what I was thinking of is basically add some sort of, right now we have a minimal documentation, but what I would like to do is have some sort of documentation that would aid the people who wish to contribute to the SCMI support and make their lives a bit easier, because we have a lot of weird looking macros. But most importantly, I think we should start asking the vendors to document their extensions. And this also applies to the firmware subsystem, and basically ask them to document their firmware. Right now, we have a piece of documentation, or a bit of the firmware documentation, that mentions that we support the NXP CPU domain management protocol, but it doesn't really offer information about the protocol itself, like the commands. And this makes the review process and the contribution process a bit harder. And finally, this isn't really related to SCMI, but rather the firmware subsystem. I think we should define what should go or not go in the subsystem. Initially, when I introduced it, I was thinking that we should only add system management firmware or support for system management firmware in it, but this might change depending on the needs of the community. So thank you very much for your attention, and if there are any questions. Please.
One question. What is the transport layer that Zephyr is supporting for SCMI? For example, SCMI, you can talk to the SCP firmware, or you could also talk to this PSA, or I think you can just talk to OP as well.
Yeah.
What are the transport layers supported?
So right now we support mailbox with doorbell, and we assume that you're talking to a remote CPU, basically. So we don't have any of the SMC stuff or OPTI stuff. That's not currently supported. Anything else? Please.
The Java team that is working on SCMI is producing a SCMI test framework. Supposed to test the server.
Yeah, I think I've seen that around, but I haven't really gotten a look at it yet.
Would you foresee to port that in Zephyr?
Uh,
I think the end is that the host is able just to test the server implementation.
Well, if that's the purpose of it, yeah, I think it would be beneficial, because we don't really test SCMI right now, and I think it would help a lot to have some sort of support in the CI. So yeah, I think it would be really good to have that.
Are we talking as a sort of a Zephyr user space application, or are you talking about?
No, they have a framework that just injects comments to the server, so it should be able to be ported as a Linux application, as a standalone image. So
you mean like
I think it could be integrated in Zephyr as a sample.
Right, but just a clarification, I didn't. So is the test framework supposed to test platforms or agents? Because Zephyr is an agent, not a platform.
It's supposed to test the platform.
Okay.
As an agent.
Right.
As an agent, and just test that the platform behaves as expected.
Right. So that's not possible in Zephyr, because Zephyr is not a platform; it's an agent.
I think the point of What he means is in Linux, we can run the SCMI test suite and get like a test output that your base protocol is passing, your call protocol is passing, your block protocol is passing. So similarly, are you talking about implementing it in Zephyr as well?
Well, it's not implementing it. I guess it would rather be just porting.
Supporting it.
Yeah.
Would it be like a basic POSIX binary kind of a thing, or?
Currently, I think their framework is based on some POSIX Linux CFS interfaces. But this part, this layer, I guess, could be ported so that we can embed it in Zephyr.
Yeah.
And if we have Zephyr as an agent, Zephyr would just be able to test that the SCMI server complies, and that could help as a test suite.
Well, I think the main idea here is that we would really need some testing done in the CI, so that would be a really nice addition. We'll have to see about how we address that, if we use the set framework, if it's suitable, or if we choose to use something else. But I'll have to have a look at the framework you've mentioned. Anything else? I think we're running. Yeah, just ran out of time. Anyways, if you have any questions along the way, you can just catch me on the hallways and we can discuss. Thank you very much.